All right, so in 2020, I went viral and I thought, this is it. This is my moment. I had about 200 orders come in for some custom order books that I was making by hand. 200. I was so excited. I just said yes to all of it. But halfway through those 200 orders, I sat down and did the math and realized I was barely even breaking even. All that work, all those hours, and I had priced myself into the ground without even knowing it. So today I'm telling you the whole story. What happened, what I did wrong, and the exact pricing formula that I use now so that you never have to make the same mistake that I did. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here with Angel B Designs. I'm Angel B. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Okay, so let me take you back to 2020 when everybody was stuck at home. A lot of people were starting businesses for the first time. They were selling on Etsy, taking custom orders, trying to figure out how to make money from home, from being at home. And I saw that people needed a way to keep track of their orders. New businesses means not everybody really has a website. So like a real physical order book they could use. It was something that I found valuable in my growing business because I didn't have a website at the time. So I designed a few for myself. And then I made the custom covers and pages, and I shared those to my social media just to see what other people thought about them. And they absolutely blew up. Orders started flooding in, and I was so caught up in the excitement, the comments, the shares, people tagging their friends, that I just kept saying yes, yes, yes. 200 yeses. I designed every single cover with the person's logo. I printed them on my own inkjet printer. I laminated the covers, and I bound everything together with my cinch machine by hand. They were cute, they were functional, and people loved them. But here's where I messed up. I priced those books based on what I thought people would pay, not based on what it actually cost me to make them. Big difference, huge difference. A difference that didn't hit me until I was about 100 orders deep, exhausted, and doing the math at my craft table at midnight. I mean, I was literally in tears, like 2 o'clock in the morning, busting into the bedroom, waking my husband up, crying because I had underpriced myself so badly. I was charging $20 a book at first, and people were buying them, so I thought that I was winning. But here's what I forgot to take into consideration: the cost of my materials. I had the paper, the laminator, the pouches, the binding supplies, the cinch machine, my printer, my ink. And when I added all of that up, it was around $15 per book. But the thing that really cost me was my time. I was not paying myself for my time at all. Each book took me roughly 3 hours to make, which is designing the custom cover, getting the approval, printing, laminating, binding, packaging. And when I started calculating what my hourly rate was or should have been, I was literally making pennies per hour. So by the time I was done, I wasn't necessarily losing money, but I wasn't making money either. I was just busy. And there's a difference between being busy and building an actual business. And here's the thing, I don't want you to feel bad if you've done this, because almost every crafter I know that's trying to build a business has been here. And there's a reason why we do it. Number one, we feel guilty charging for our time. Like somehow our labor isn't worth what a professional would charge. We think, I'm just doing this for fun, or I don't want to price people out. But listen, your time has a dollar amount, period. Number two, we price based on what we would personally pay, which has nothing to do with what your product cost you to make. Your customer is not you. And number three, we look at what competitors are charging and then try to match them, which means if they're undercharging, now you're both undercharging. You don't know their costs, so don't copy their prices. And number four, and this is a big one, we're scared that if we charge more, nobody will buy. But here's what I've learned. The right customer will pay the right price. Cheap pricing attracts cheap customer. Value-based pricing attracts people who actually respect your work and your time. So here's the formula that I use now. Make sure you have your notebook for this. Your price equals your materials plus your labor plus overhead plus profit margin. And let me break each one of those down. First, materials. Add up every single thing that goes into one unit. Paper, ink, packaging, labels, ribbon, whatever. Every single thing. Not the pack price, but the per unit cost. Next is labor. Decide your hourly rate. What is your time worth? And I'm not talking about minimum wage. I'm talking a skilled, creative, professional rate, because that is what you are, right? How many hours have you spent learning your sewing machine? You are an expert. You are a professional. Charge like it. Pick a number. Let's say $20 an hour. Now multiply that by how long it takes you to make one item. So if it takes you 30 minutes, then that's 10 hours in labor per item. Overhead. And this is the stuff that people always forget. Your electricity, your machine costs spread over time, your packaging supplies, your software subscriptions. These are real business costs and they need to be in your price. I promise you, large companies factor all of that into their price when they come up with numbers on how to charge for whatever it is they offer. And profit margin. This is not your labor. This is the money your business makes. Add at minimum 20 to 30% on top of everything else, because you are running a business, not a charity. Add all four of those together and that is your price. Not what you think sounds fair, not what your competitor charges, your actual number. Now, if that number feels too high, the answer is not to lower your price. The answer is to find a customer who values what you make, or to figure out how to make it more efficiently so your costs can go down. So if I could go back and talk to 2020 Angel, here's what I would tell her. First, slow down before you say yes to every order, because excitement is not a pricing strategy. Second, do the math before you launch anything. Before you post, before you take one single order, know your number. Third, if you realize mid-order that you underpriced, don't just suffer through it. For new orders, adjust the price immediately. You don't owe anyone a deal that costs you money. And fourth, going viral means nothing if you're not profitable. Views and orders are vanity metrics if your bank account isn't growing. Build the business first and then invite the crowd in. If this hit home for you, if you're sitting there realizing you might be undercharging right now, drop a comment down below and tell me what you sell and what you've been charging. I don't always get to respond to every comment, but I do read them. And I might even do a follow-up video on how to figure out your pricing. Even though I think we covered that a little bit, we can definitely dive deeper. But that is all I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I was able to give you a little bit of encouragement. Hopefully I was able to give you a little bit of knowledge on how to price your products. And again, if you feel that number is too high, then try to figure out a more cost-efficient way to bring your costs down. Buying things at retail price is never a good idea, especially in our business. If you guys want recommendations on where I purchase from, warehouses, things at wholesale pricing, let me know and I can definitely make a video for that as well. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hype, all that good stuff. Until next time, bye guys.